a very lucky owner to have a one-of-a-kind, literally one-of-a-kind in the world, handmade with love for all the cherubs, because it's not just some random person who made a quilt. Okay, and now we have Chelsea. I can hear her.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I can just go on and talk if you haven't noticed yet today. So nice to have you here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Chelsea jumped in at the last minute for us, and we so appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I am trying to pull this up over here so I can see the full video, you guys. And there you are. So Chelsea, welcome
Hello.
to the telethon.
Hi.
We would love to hear more about your story, about Jensen and your journey with CDH. So I'm just gonna let you have the camera and you tell us how CDH has affected your life.
Okay. Well, Jensen, we didn't know at 19 when I was 19 weeks pregnant. For the anatomy scan, the sono guy just was taking a really long time, and he was like, "I need the doctor to come in here. He definitely needs to see this." And all I was told was something's wrong with your baby, but I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna refer you to a high risk. And so we went to high risk, and they didn't even know it was CDH at first. They thought it was, it's called CPAM or something like that, where they thought just a bunch of tiny cysts were on his lungs. And a week before I was induced, they said, well, we don't think this is CPAM anymore. We think this is CDH, a congenital diaphragmatic hernia. And the doctor told me this. He said, this may be better case scenario. And we didn't know what to expect. Like, they didn't let us know anything at all about his, I didn't know anything because they weren't still 100% sure. And I remember being induced. I was in labor for 32 hours, I think. And it took, I pushed for 2.5 hours with him. He came out, barely made a noise. The smallest sound, it was nothing. It was nothing what I imagined after struggling with fertility. And it wasn't, you can't be prepared for something like that. And they actually have a picture of him on the live photo that iPhone does. And you can see him trying to take a breath and the indentation from where his hernia was in his chest. But they intubated him, took him to the children's hospital next door, and they wheeled me down in my hospital bed. And I remember seeing him on the oscillator, and because it kind of vibrates the bed, and it's just something you can't imagine unless you experienced it like all these other parents have. And it's heartbreaking because it's heartbreaking to think of the other people that have to go through it like we did. But he had the repair the day he was born, and his stomach and his intestines were up in his chest cavity. His surgeon had to use just the smallest patch, so luckily the hole wasn't too big. But Jensen was also born with E. coli, and had 102 fever. He was born with craniosynostosis as well, and he had to have skull surgery just this past December. But he was in the NICU for 7 weeks, and a lot of ups and downs for sure. I remember the day he had to go on ECMO, which was day 2. He was after he was born, and it was like a scene out of a movie is the only way I can describe it. We had our neonatologist there, and then the ECMO surgeon, and we had just made it back to my hospital room, and after seeing Jensen, to go grab a bite to eat, and they called me and they said, "Are you still here? The doctor needs to talk to you. I need you to come back." And so went back, and all these doctors and nurses were in this tiny NICU room surrounding this tiny little baby. And I remember walking down the hallway and we just broke down. Me and my husband, it was just, we didn't know that you can't be prepared for something like this. But I mean, him now, he just turned 1 last month on the 28th of March, and he actually, a year ago today is when he came off of oxygen and back onto room air, breathing room air. There's so many things. He was on ECMO for 4 days, the bypass machine. Let's see. There's just so many things. It's hard to just get them all in here, really.
It's hard to remember as many things these kids go through unless you write it down, because
Yes.
CDH is not a quick fix. You're in there for a long time with a lot of procedures, and it's emotionally overwhelming too. Yeah.
It is, definitely. One thing I wish that I did was keep a journal. I really wish I kept a journal of day by day, but it's something I thought of. This is my first kiddo, and I never imagined it would be this way, but he was delayed. He has a feeding tube still, but we haven't used it in a while. He did get sick a couple weeks ago, and we did have to use it then, but he's back to taking everything by mouth. He was on a breathing tube, I think, for 2 weeks, Jordan, maybe? Yeah, 2 weeks probably. And but he started walking at 10 months. He has no more delays really besides just the feeding, and we're getting that down slowly but surely.
That's great. That is wonderful. Chelsea, is there anything that you didn't know that you wish you would have known that would have prepared you to deal with CDH when he was born?
I just wish that the doctor that I had, I guess, informed me more of what to expect, like him. Because, I mean, I was naive in the situation. I didn't know, like, I guess I should have known, but I didn't know that he was going to be intubated. I didn't know that he was going to be blue when I delivered him. I wish that I was just better informed, I guess, is the best way to describe it. And I never knew that he would get a feeding tube. I mean, I thought he would just pick it up like most babies do, but never imagined.
Oh. Now, if you had a microphone to tell the world about CDH, what would you say?
I would say, especially in the beginning, you just got to take it day by day. It's one day at a time, and just know that, I mean, it's just one day at a time. It's little, like when it's an improvement, just take that improvement no matter how small it is. Because it matters. It helps when you look at just a small improvement, especially while in the NICU. Lowering his oxygen, the 1 liter by liter, like it was a great feeling.
All right. Wow.
But I know when we found the charity through Facebook, you feel alone. I didn't know about it, and I discovered it through Facebook. And I actually found a mom who was in the same hospital as us with her kiddo as well. And we've connected, and she's just so sweet, and it was nice to not feel alone. And then finding there's so many people, and nobody knows. And then this Facebook Live is getting out there and just announcing it to the world and hoping for these donations, because the money for this, is going to something amazing and great for babies that, what they're born with. It's heartbreaking, and not a lot of people know about it. Jensen's right here. He's sleeping.
Oh.
But this charity is amazing, and it's helped not feel alone when you feel like you got nobody. But you got your family, of course, but when it's just nice.
Oh, well, I love hearing that. Our support team they're pretty incredible. The Cherubs division of CDHi, they're pretty amazing.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of them. Well, we thank you for your time, and we really appreciate you being here. And I will talk to you soon. I hope it was lovely to meet you. Thank you for doing this. And
we appreciate it. It's nice to share.
All right,
There's probably so many things that I haven't said that I could have said.
That's okay. There'll be other chances. Thank you. You have a good
Thanks.
night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, up next, our very own Rachel is going to join me right over here for a few minutes. Surprise, surprise. Rachel, you're up. She really thought she was going to get through this whole thing without getting in front of the camera. Don't know why she thought that.